Welcome to Snooker Places. I'm outside the West Snooker Academy in Liverpool, which according to their website is probably the most unique snooker club in the world. Let's go and meet the team and find out more about their innovative approach to both the technical and the mental side of the game. And of course, we'll find a couple of young hustlers to take part in the black ball finish.
We feel that it's something different to that could be offered anywhere else. First of all, there's no staff. People let themselves in and let themselves out. So people can book themselves on the table any time of the day or night. Even if they're Christmas Day, we were open, Boxing Day, New Year's Day, every day we were open so people can come in, no matter what they're doing, fit their lifestyle. And we find that that works quite well. There's a lot of clubs in the area who may be open at midday or 5 in the evening, and so it limits people's ability to be able to play. We only have the best available standard in here, so we have 4-star tables with tournament cut templates on the pockets and everything a pro would have, and we feel that that's the best way for people to learn how to play the game. The standard that we've got is high end, but it's available to everyone. It's not elitist. If you've just picked up a cue, you're welcome. If you're a pro, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
We film everything. We have a camera on each table, and we have another 4 cameras dotted around filming everything, so that if anything happens, uniquely wise, so someone may get a 146 or 147, it's easily clipped up and sent to them. At the same time, when people are working on things, getting coached or working on their technique, and they can request that footage back, and again, that's sent to them within a couple of days. We feel the hardest part of the game is the mental side. Anyone can pot a ball, but it's hard dealing with being able to not pot a ball. It's the biggest problem. Work with 2 local, we call them mind coaches, and deal with things that don't work or things that go against you during a frame, but also things off the table. So dealing with eating, sleeping, habits of getting into playing fixtures and snooker in the correct manner, so that when you're going into big tournaments or going into even maybe your local snooker league, that you feel you're prepared enough to be able to give it your best.
My name's Matt Andrews. I kind of come from a very clinical background where I used to work with people that were homeless, with addictions, within criminal justice and the police. Started off really as a youth worker as well, so child development was a big part of where I kind of started, and the methods that I've kind of gone on to use from there. Ronnie was a next door neighbour but one to my grandparents and things and stuff, so there was always kind of discussions and talk about the sport, and grandparents were into it as well. Players that I've kind of worked with over the years, it's been a real kind of mixture. I was actually really lucky due to that, so the first person I've kind of come to work with in snooker as a professional was Ronnie, sort of straight away. So I was kind of thrown in at the deep end with that one really. And it's really included a mixture of everybody, so you know, kind of regular club players and league match players, to kind of people in the top 16 as well, obviously including Ronnie, Tom Ford years ago. More recently, sort of Julian Boyko, sort of who's just come off of tour, but then you know working his way back onto tour as well, and everybody in between really.
What were you able to help Ronnie with, for example?
With regard to Ronnie, kind of I always knew that he was going to win again. He's just kind of a natural winner. It was a time when we first started working. It was during the 2007 Masters, so. There were big reports that he hadn't won anything for a couple of seasons and for a couple of years, but you know he's always had that ability. I think really during that time it was just kind of that reassurance, looking after the self-talk, building up confidence, and that self-belief that you know people can kind of perform at their natural ability, you know, as kind of as consistently as what they can really. So we're kind of going back to putting a structure in place that a player can follow, to kind of help with that self-belief and confidence, so they can get back to playing how they know that they can as well. Really, we're kind of looking after the whole person and developing them So happy player off the table, happy player on the table as much as possible.
Yeah. And what does that actually look like in practice then? So when you're working with some of the juniors that we're going to see today, you know, they've got brilliant skills, they're brilliant on the table. What do you work with them off the table then? Both
myself and Zach Lamb, we've kind of put together a structure that works first of all on an assessment that we do with players. Again, that's well suited for anybody at any age and any level. We look at all the different sort of factors or the areas that they need to kind of work on and to strengthen to be the best player that they can be. That does include as well sort of asking them and working through any goals and things that they kind of want to achieve. You know, some people do want to be a world champion, you know, from a very early age. Other people want to kind of win their first league match at their club. And we'll look at sort of everything really from diet, exercise, hydration, sleep, which is obviously really important. I don't think people give that enough credit really.
No.
And obviously their ability on the table as well and how we can kind of strengthen that. I hate seeing people being stuck, and I think, again, going back a little bit to Ronnie, I think during that time perhaps he was a little bit stuck. It's a horrible place to be in, especially as a snooker player. And for me, I've got a real passion about helping people achieve their goals and their dreams, no matter what that is, and to get rid of that stuck feeling really, because it's a horrible place to be in, and that's where kind of depression, anxiety kind of feeds on that and can get worse.
And is this particularly pertinent to snooker, do you think? I mean, it might even be the hardest from a psychological perspective. Obviously, it's an individual game, but would you prescribe to that?
I would. I work across a vast mixture of sports, so golf, football, tennis, darts, all sorts. It's one of those where, in a way, I'm kind of reluctant to say it's the worst possible sport for that, but I do think that there's a lot of truth in it as well. It can be a sport that really does torture and torment you, I think. If you haven't got a team of people around you that can kind of help support you with that, or at least some sort of knowledge of how to deal with those times sort of yourself. And I think that's kind of really what we're kind of looking at working on installing is really kind of empowering players with some good solid tools and a good structure that they can follow, especially those times where you're sat in your chair with your own kind of thoughts. Are they kind thoughts to yourself, and what are you thinking about? Is it kind of how your next shot's going to go, or is it how your past shots have gone, even in past matches and things like that?
One final question just about snooker in general. There's been a lot of coverage recently about the mental side of the game. I'm thinking about the chat that Ronnie and Mark Selby had on the television at one of the tournaments. Do you welcome that, the fact that it's being brought out into the open?
Yeah. I really do feel that snooker, unfortunately, I used to think it was like 20 years behind perhaps other sports. Working with other sports, you kind of see that difference sort of over the years. I'd kind of say that it's perhaps kind of gone down to like 10 years behind, something like that. But the more we talk about mental health, the better. I think Ronnie and Mark Selby threw up some really interesting points and suggestions. I think the more conversations go on about that side of the sport, the better, especially in snooker.
Yeah.
The end aim is to have another world champion out of the region from Liverpool. The last one was John Parrott in '92, the only one. And so if we can get a player on tour, then we can work with them, try and get them up to a standard where they can win the World Championship, and that's our end game, is to have a World Championship playing from the venue.
My name's Charlie Campbell, I'm 11 and my highest break's 39. I first started when I was 7 in Scotties. There's an under 18 sort of league with Neil Johnson, the coach, and I've been doing that since I was 7.
Wow. And how long have you been playing here at the West Snooker Academy?
Since it first opened, so on the first day I was here, so 2 years ago.
Have you got any ambitions in snooker?
Yeah, I'd like to turn pro, hopefully one day.
Hello, my name is Arthur Chapman Davis, and I am 11 years old, my highest break in a frame is 40 and I've had a lineup of 93. I was introduced to the cue sports by my dad when I was about 3.
Yeah.
I was playing pool on a little pool table that I had in a holiday home in Anglesey, and I played pool for 5 years, and then the first time I played snooker was at the Sheffield Cue Zone at the Crucible with Jamie Clark, a professional, and since then I've just loved the game. I think if I tried, I could turn pro. Obviously that is a big step, but I think in 10 years' time I could, if I kept on playing and trying, I could be a high-level player.
Okay, it's black ball finish time here at the West Snooker Academy. Here we go then, black ball finish time at the West Snooker Academy. This is Arthur breaking off in this highly anticipated showdown between these two talented youngsters. Arthur's gone for the side to side there. Looks pretty happy with the end result, but he may have left a double for Charlie into this middle pocket. Let's see now. Here comes Charlie now. No, I don't think he went for the double. And what he's actually done is played a superb safety shot there. There's a lot of distance between cue ball and black ball. And Arthur has got a challenge on his hand to get this ball safe. Here he goes now. Goes for a gentle approach, but I don't think he's got enough juice on that. I think he may have left that. Yeah, there's a no-in kind of look into the camera there. I think he fears that he's left this on into the middle. Let's see now. Plays it very delicately, and that's no problem at all. Charlie is the black ball champ. There's always time for another black ball finish. Arthur clearly wants another crack at this, and who can blame him? But it's Charlie breaking off there. Again going for the side to side, and he plays that very effectively. These two have been well schooled in the art of the black ball game. Arthur replies with a little containing shot there. A very clever play actually, because he's left the black ball near to the cushion, as you can see. But it means that Charlie will need the rest and possibly something more. I think he's searching for his extension. Yeah, there he is. He's putting the extension on his cue, and he needs to use the rest. So this is going to be quite a tricky shot here to get the black ball safe. Let's see how he plays this. Here we go now. Oh, and he just got a little bit of a double kiss there, didn't he? And that's meant he has left a pot into the middle pocket for Arthur. Here comes Arthur now. We're right behind this shot. We can see if this is going to find the pocket. And no, he's pushed that wide. That was a really tricky shot where the white ball ended up on the cushion. Now, I don't think Arthur's hit that quite hard enough to leave it safe. So Charlie will certainly take on this pot to the corner. But he misses that. And where's the white going to end up? I think this might be the first chance of the black ball finish for Arthur. He must also get the rest out. But let's see if he can find the heart of the pocket here. Here he goes now. No, he's missed it. Now he's looking rather anxiously to see if he's left that black ball on. Well, it bounces off the top cushion. Far from easy. Charlie's, well, I was about to say Charlie was going to get straight down on that, but he'll need the rest. And let's see. He's digging down on that white ball here. Here he goes now. No, it very nearly goes in. Off the cushion. Hold on to your hats. Off the knuckle. And it's in. A little harsh on Arthur, but Charlie retains his black ball crown. Before we say goodbye to the West Snooker Academy, Arthur has one chance, and one chance only, to cut this black ball in. It's going to be very close. That is sensational. Well played, Arthur. Dad enjoyed that one.